Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome back to the Zulu Group. I'm Commander Z. Man, it is an early and impromptu stream because I've been watching this Tornado ADV flight check dev update that they have just put out on their YouTube channel. It's 13 minutes and 49 seconds. I'm gonna talk along with it or just watch it with you guys. If you have any input that you want to put in, and I'm gonna also put my own input in. That way I could just clip it and make a YouTube video out of it. This is what we do. This is how we create content on multiple platforms. I see. I guess I must have missed it. So Maurice, welcome. Hey, how are you? Good job being first. You're the first here. There's not too many of you watching. That's fine. We're just doing. This is strictly for capture, anyways. So there, like all the alerts and stuff. You're only going to see them if I'm on this screen or if I'm in the ready room. All that stuff. Reaction streamer, yeah. Well, we're gonna do some reactions. I want to watch along, see if you guys have anything that you want to input. I feel like they gave this plane all strengths and no weaknesses from the preview. Well, let's discuss it together. Sully, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for following the channel. I saw you followed about 13 minutes ago when I put that in the chat. But yeah, I'm gonna chill I'm gonna chill here, and we're gonna watch the video. This is my captain's quarters here. Even though I'm a commander, I somehow managed to get captain's quarters. So we'll watch the video together. All the alerts are turned off. So any of the new follows, or if you try and troll me with the stream points, like none of that's going to work. If you see anything interesting, please use the clip feature. That's an important part of also making short form content. But yeah, I'm gonna play this. So far, I just got to say, like, I'm really impressed with the devs' content that they're putting out. Highly decorated commander, yes. So yeah, 20-year commander. All right, let's watch this together, guys. If you have anything you want to input, please say it in chat, and I'll be reading along with you guys and watching along with the video. So enjoy. Let me know if the volume levels are okay.
Hi there, I'm Taylor, creative director here.
I'm Tom, I'm a gameplay engineer.
Cool, we're here to talk about the Tornado ADV.
Taylor and Tom.
So this was a fun one. This is going to be our first heavy fighter introduced in the black market events.
There you go, heavy fighter.
We've got to make it really special. It's an unusual one. It's got swing wings. It has some pretty interesting, unique weapons.
Swing wings.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a really cool one. It's very mechanically dense, and there's a lot of new toys for you guys to play with.
Mechanically dense.
All right, let's get into it. So high-level overview. Like I said, it's a heavy fighter. It's got swing wings. That's cool. It's a big, heavy boy, and what we wanted to do was really emphasize the massive arsenal. It's bristling with 8 missiles. It's got 4 flares. Its special ability is also defensive in nature. So the combination of all of that armament and all those countermeasures means this thing can really hang out in the fight, stay in the fight for a long time before needing to go back and reload, and just keep the pressure on. Like, whereas other planes, you'll sort of need to worry about how many shots you've taken on somebody and if you can afford to take another one, and if you really need to wait for the right timing. This one, you can be a little bit more carefree with just putting fire down range.
Yeah, I think this is one where we wanted you to feel capacity a little bit differently. Missile capacity in this case is like the choice to use them when you want to, and a little bit less about like you don't have to go back for reload.
Cool. All right, well, and let's get into it. So let's talk about the advanced hunter missiles. So I'll start off with the inspiration here. So the Tornado ADV in particular was known for using the Sky Flash missile, which was a really cool variation on the M7 Sparrows. But the Europeans did their own thing on it. They upgraded it, improved it beyond the AIM-7 of the time. So we wanted to take that manual missile idea that the AIM-7 Sparrows are, but we wanted to add some cooler, higher intensity, high skill mechanics, leveraging some of the hunter missile mechanics, and consider these ones to be advanced hunters. So how did that play out?
Yeah, so I think the big trade-off between the manual missiles in Metalstorm and the hunter missiles is you don't get a lot of feedback about what target your missile is going towards, and these advanced hunters basically alleviate that. You do get a lot of information about who you are currently targeting, and you still get the hunter benefit of you
Maintain
can switch
lock
targets
1
in
out
air.
of 4.
We actually even gave you a little bit more control over who you were switching targets to by really heavily pushing it towards the player that is under your crosshair. So with a little bit of finesse, you can really figure out exactly who you want to send those missiles at and switch targets at pretty, right at the last minute just to surprise someone with a missile.
Yeah.
It's 10 a.m.
There's a lot of cool stuff that you get from that precise control, and you can do some really neat trick shots. But there's another aspect to using them that is actually kind of the exact opposite. I've found in several of the matches where a bunch of you guys were all clustered up in a tight bunch on the other side of the map, just fire down range, and one person starts flaring, and then the missile kind of misses them, and then goes and I can target the next person, and they flare, and I target the next person, and I can get like sometimes 2 or 3 flares out of a single missile shot, and then hit somebody in the end. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's really cool. And there's also there is like kind of the trade-off of you need to keep making sure that you're targeting the person you intend to. There's plenty of cases where someone cuts in front of your crosshair and disrupts your missile path. So it is really on you to like make sure you're actually utilizing the precision these are giving you.
And how many of these can you have in the air, Tom?
Lock circle me seems pretty big.
You tell us. There's you can get I think 4 of these in the air at a time.
That's right.
And you can have them all switching targets and
going into mountains.
This is an opportunity for you to really exercise how many the full breadth of the loadout. There's no waiting for the next lock.
Lots of missiles.
Like you have with some of the active radar missiles, and there's no waiting for the missile to expire like you have with the manuals.
That skin looks like a jet
get them all
ski
out
skin to me.
there and see how well you can guide 4 missiles in the air at once.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. It's the biggest
Jaguar IR
parallel
missiles.
guidance limit that we've ever done on manual missiles or hunter missiles, and it can really wreak a lot of havoc with that many missiles in the air.
Okay, so one of the cool things about this plane is it has thrust reversers for quicker braking.
This should be interesting.
Metalstorm interpretation of that is when you hold the afterburners and brake buttons at the same time.
That's going to be hard.
You engage your thrust reversers, and so primarily it is a way to brake really, really
Especially
fast.
people on mobile, pushing 2 buttons
it
at
also
once.
gives you a couple other benefits.
Arctic, what's up?
Where you basically gain cool engines as a trait temporarily. So while you are doing that, lock range on incoming IR missiles goes down, and you also have slight cannon damage protection from the rear.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a bullet shield.
We're really hoping you can do some really cool Top Gun moments where you force really fast overshoots. And get to put on the brakes
better special
and
than
let them fly
decoy.
right by you.
Exactly. So in reality, those thrust reversers were used to help braking on the ground as part of landing, but that's just not cool enough. That's not the spirit of Metalstorm. So that's why we wanted to translate that to something amazing.
Bullet shield.
Air, turn it into a cool combat ability. So that's the nature of thrust reversers on the Tornado.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun, like high risk,
Here, see how big
sort of moment for you, kind of like a last ditch effort to get someone off your tail. I'm all about making defense more active.
Fly backwards.
And I think this is a really cool way for
should be able to Cobra
players to
with
try
that.
to,
I would imagine.
And this is a really optional mechanic. It's there if you want to engage with it, but it's not going to get in your way if it feels like a little bit too much for you.
I think that there's this is definitely like another option. It's another card up your sleeve. But it certainly does not disrupt you from flying the way you have normally flown.
You just pause there. So this is already making me rethink how I'm gonna bind my joystick, because my boost and my brake are independent of each other. So how am I gonna reach both of them with my thumb to activate it? I don't know. I might have to do some like MIDI mapping kind of deal. Would be interesting to see. I'm curious how you guys are going to. I mean, I feel if you have like a regular a regular controller, you can brake and boost at the same time. I don't use a regular controller. I use a flight stick. So I'm either going to have to map one of my base buttons just for that purpose, because I do typically fly with one hand on the base and one hand on the stick. So maybe I use some of the base buttons. But that means I'm going to have multiple brake buttons on my thing just to activate the thrust reverser. So it'll be interesting to see, some of your time to join regular controller. Nah.
Any swing wing aircraft in Metalstorm. We know that pressing multiple buttons on your touch screen if you're playing on mobile is not always a pleasant experience.
Nope.
So we actually added the ability to lock your afterburner and press brake at the same time, specifically for planes that have thrust reversers.
It'd be cool if you could map volume control buttons and things on
next
phones.
Up, let's talk about the special ability for the Tornado. Yeah. This was a really fun one. So the Tornado has two really big different variants out there in the world. There's the ADV, the air defense variant, and then an IDS, which is an
that would be
strike.
nice.
The ADV variant that we chose, it was somewhat unusual in being an early carrier of a towed radar decoy. And
independent control would be nice, yes.
Pods on the wings, and they pop out a little decoy carried by a cable, several, like 50, 100 yards behind the plane. And that attracts incoming radar-guided missiles. It's a super cool defensive measure. It's somewhat unusual. Some of the more modern planes are using this kind of thing as well, but we thought it was very cool that the Tornado was doing this way back in the late 70s, early 80s. So that was the inspiration for this one. So how does this play out in Metalstorm?
Yeah. So your ability button, when you unlock the plane through the black market event, you will get the ability with the plane. When you hit the ability button, it will launch a decoy out of the pod on your wing. And then all incoming radar guided missiles, which we define as manual, hunter, or active radar.
Mm-hmm. Manual, hunter, active.
All of those kinds of missiles will, instead of going towards your plane, go towards the decoy.
Here, I got a mission for you guys if you so choose. What are the colors that the manual, the hunter, the radar, and the IR missiles, what are there different colors for the arrows that point at you when you have missile lock? If you don't know, we may have to test that, because I am curious. So what Tom is saying is you have to know what missile is inbound on you. Obviously, the range is going to be a factor, but don't they also have different colors? I know, like the Hunter missiles, you could see them fade from red to yellow when they disengage. Hey, does anyone else think the smoke trails look different, thicker, more detailed? Possibly. I don't think there is a cue to distinguish on the radar. There's only red and yellow. Red for all the missiles, yellow when the hunter loses lock, I think. Yeah, so it would be behoove the devs to, like, the different radar locks have different colors associated. I think that would be a neat thing to add, especially now since you're going to have to know what's inbound, and it's not always easy when you have like multiple targets firing at you to know exactly what missile. I mean, obviously experience is going to be key there, but let's just continue.
Decoy. The decoy can soak up 2 missile hits before it expires. It will also expire after a certain amount of time. So that's just a way for you to have an interceptor.
Guys, by the way, follow K9 Stark and I there in chat. It's youtube.com/@K9 Stark and I for his channel. If we could get Arctic, if you could type that in chat, I would appreciate that. I need to make a command for YouTube viewers.
Launch 2 missiles at you that you don't have to worry about. It's just adding to your
tankier than F5, right?
It kind of makes you a nice little like interceptor hunter. Where
it's like towing an F5 behind you.
Bait them into using 2 of their 6 precious long-range missiles.
Big, heavy, long-range missiles.
Yep.
Of
course.
And so, it's just a really cool opportunity for you to expand your defense, stretch your flares a little bit longer by knowing what kinds of missiles are coming at you.
Now, when you've got one of these out, what's that like? It's going to absorb 2 missiles, but there are a whole bunch of missile incoming. Warning is coming at you.
Yeah, so that's kind of left up to you as the player to understand the range that you're being engaged from. Generally, in Metalstorm,
I would
missiles
imagine
that are
it's going to
coming
hit
from
you,
beyond
Maurice,
5 kilometers in
if it
the
comes
game
from the
right
front.
now I'd have to be radar guided. For you to get the most benefit out of this decoy, identifying what missiles are coming at you by their range is kind of prerequisite. It is also just a safe thing to put behind you, and it's going to tank missiles when it can.
Showing to be at the back, yes.
From the attacker's perspective,
You're going to have to
there's a
turn,
couple fun
regardless.
interactions we have here where, if you see someone with the decoy out, switch to IR missiles, shoot them with those instead. Maybe they won't flare because they think they're protected.
Right. Yeah.
You can also shoot the decoy with your guns to knock it off. And if you're in a F-111, you can just crash into the decoy and knock it off. Very difficult to do, but something you definitely can do.
There's one other aspect, and that is that it actually takes just a little bit of time to deploy.
Oh, yeah. I think that this is a really cool difference between this and our other defenses. Our other defenses are a little more reactionary. You have a missile coming at you.
Morning,
you identify how far away it is. You press the flare button. You're flying the MiG-23. You get a bunch of arrows pointed at you. You press the ability button, and all of those go away. This one is a little bit more about preparation. It takes some time to spool out, and in that time, the decoy will be attracting those missiles, but it's just not far enough away from your plane to stop the explosion from hitting you. And so this one's a little bit more about knowing that you're about to enter an open space, popping the decoy behind you to act as a protector during that time, than it is about getting an arrow on you, pressing the button, and profiting.
Yeah, exactly.
And profit.
Cool. Well, Tom, that tow decoy looks spectacular. It is so cool seeing that thing pop out behind. It's really cool to see it on one of your teammates that's deployed one of these.
So you're not gonna be able to go head on with any of the missiles. Like if a missile's inbound, you're still gonna have to turn because you need it to point at that decoy. But you have to be far away. 7 a.m. for me, too early. I got you. Didn't read that. What didn't you read? It says radar guided missiles will be affected. Guys, Arctic did put K9 Stark and I's link in the chat there. He's trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's almost there. So if you could give him a subscribe over on his K9 Stark page, I would appreciate that. And yeah, we'll keep going. K9, I did see your DM this morning. I didn't get a chance to respond because I was streaming at the time. So I'll get back to you.
And you see a little blinky red light. Like, okay, I know that they're protected. This was a little bit of a tricky ability to develop, but what would you say was the hardest thing to get right on this?
On the ability specifically, I think that you just kind of, with any online game, you kind of have the problem of synchronizing things between the server and what you are seeing on your device. And this was just one where it was visually just super obvious when things were going wrong. And so a lot of the work was to make sure that the game always looks as cool as you feel it is when you're playing it. And
Spoke
so just
too fast.
A lot of work went into making sure you guys can capture awesome videos using the Toad decoy without too much jitter. A lot of work went into making sure that the replays of the Toad decoy still look, they look like the action movie moments that you're experiencing in the game.
Be interesting to see if the camera
really nailed it.
The camera in the replay plays only, or will follow just a Toad decoy. Arctic, I spoke too fast. I apologize. I said that K9 Stark and I is working on 1,000 subscribers over on YouTube, and he's almost there. So if you don't already subscribe to K9 Stark and I, please click that YouTube link that Arctic put in the chat and give him a subscribe, follow. So I like the Toad decoy. I'm interested to see how it's going to play out. The Black Market event does start Wednesday, I believe, right? Is that tomorrow?
I'm so excited about this ability, the way that it looks, the way that it plays. I'm really excited to see what you guys do with this one. It really makes the Tornado feel completely different than anything else. Yeah, can't wait for it to get in your hands. That's it for the Tornado. We really had a blast working on this plane. It was so different than anything we've done before, and it really kind of challenged us on the technical side, but I think it's going to be really exciting. We can't wait for you to get your hands on it and let us know what you think.
Yeah, catch us on all the social platforms and Discord.
The music. I like the production. Watch it. Watch the react to this. Pretty fancy. Toad decoy. Pretty neat. You're gonna grab some of this footage. K9 need to. Thrust reversers. Got a map. Awesome. Advanced Hunter missiles. 4 targets in the air, 4 birds in the air at once, flying towards one. Looks badass. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. All right, so that's about that. What do you guys think about the tornado? I mean, obviously it's gonna be neat, and like this is only gonna give you like an initial, you know, thought of what's to come from it. Maybe its drawback would be worse agility, like the F4. Maybe, maybe. It seems pretty good in every other. I mean, it is a heavy fighter, so you can't expect it to be too maneuverable, right? I mean, F-15 is kind of. I would say it's probably going to handle more like the F-15. It should be not quite as fast. Good weapons loadout, 8 missiles. But there you go, guys. Anything else you want me to add into the content? Decent survivability should be. I think that that tow behind is probably going to be a game changer. I can never judge by its stats. I'm a hands-on. The same. Yeah, I'm the same. But I'd like to give you an idea of what's to come. Pew, pew, pew. Thank you, Blackberry. Chapstick time. You want to do chapstick time? Now that the content is done, well, at least captured, I could go back and edit now. This is what I'm going to do. Flexibility in terms of gameplay due to sweep wings. Yes. Ugh. Does it have a 36-degree turn rate? That I'm not sure of. I haven't seen the actual stats yet, Sully. So I'm just going by the same thing you guys go by, the videos, and I'm going to try and put it all into one quick, shorter video. I'm sure K9's probably working on something too, and I know that Ghostberry TV, if you guys haven't followed him on YouTube or Twitch, he also is working on some tornado content. If you're more interested, you want to support other content creators, like give all those people follows, I would appreciate that. Otherwise, I'll be over the Scuba Squad Discord most of the day today if you wanted to hop in and say hello. At least it is another attack. Yeah, that's true. It was in the patch release. So many good streamers. Yes. Shout them all out, Blackberry. You can shout them all out. There you go. Arctic, good job. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take this VOD and cut it up and hopefully get it on YouTube. Hopefully today. Thank you for tuning in. I can raid. I think Code Saber is streaming, right? We could send a raid over to Saber Code Red. Yeah, we'll do that. Saber's a mod here too. We'll get in on that raid, guys, and go over and check out my boy, Saber Code Red. He is an excellent dude, awesome Metalstorm streamer. Also has a pretty big YouTube following as well. Go over, say hello to him, and I will check you guys tonight when I come back. Until then, fly safe, shoot straight, and I'll see you in the skies.